Donald Trump for his victory. Why did that matter? We knew Kentucky was going to go red 4 years ago, but there are
some
voters
great
just like
league.
that in Southern Ohio. And we started to see that as well. And guess what? If you
I'll
follow
try to do for Marsh Cup, Sunrise Cup, and Halloween Cup.
Pennsylvania, that was the first sign of the night. So that's
Let's see how they mix and match.
Start to get votes out of Kentucky, out of Indiana, out of Ohio. Match those counties up, especially the small rural places. One of the key tests tonight.
Airmaster 0528.
We'll get some early clues in those results.
Sick costume, bro.
I was talking earlier about other results. We do expect North Carolina. There's a delay in reporting the results because
Dragon Knight.
But once those results do come, this will be a key test.
Sweet.
In 2018, the suburbs revolted against President Trump. Does that continue? Donald Trump narrowly carried the suburbs 4 years ago. One of the reasons he won North Carolina. Pretty close election there. So what are we going to watch? We're going to watch Mecklenburg County. This is absolutely essential for the Democrats. Does the African-American turnout in Charlotte go higher than that? You see the numbers. Joe Biden needs to exceed Hillary Clinton's raw vote numbers, but there's also a ton of growing suburbs around here. What is Donald Trump's number in the suburbs? That's one place to look. Another place to look, one of the fastest growing
No
areas
shield.
Of here.
That's
Durham,
crazy.
Suburbs around here. So you bring up Wake County here. This is absolutely critical. You see 58 to 38.
That's fucking insane, dude.
How is Joe Biden doing here compared to Hillary Clinton? Or the flip side of that, how is Donald Trump doing there compared to Donald Trump? The fast-growing suburbs up here, they're more diverse, they're younger, they're more college-educated. They are the very voters who revolted.
That really is fucking crazy.
2018, we will get in these early states, North Carolina among them, some early clues, and then we'll just watch it out as we follow across the country.
Even in a traditionally red state like Kentucky, we'll get some early results coming in. Will we get a sense of how Biden is doing based on the early results we're seeing in a red state like Kentucky?
Yeah, so let's go back to Kentucky and let's pop out again.
Fuck your power up, punch, bitch.
That Kentucky will stay red this year. Let's see. We're open to surprises, right? We're always open to surprises in elections. Remember, the Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, is running for re-election in Kentucky. He has every expectation to win re-election in a relatively close race, but he expects to win. However, this is why we're here. It's election night. We get surprised sometimes. So what are we going to look for there? Number one, I just mentioned these smaller counties up here. Here's Cincinnati. Some of these northern Kentucky counties here, like Kenton, this is the Cincinnati suburbs, essentially. It's over the state line into Kentucky. But let's watch. You see it here, 59-33. If you move over, you come over here, Campbell County, 59-34. Is Joe Biden doing better just across the border here? If so, that tells you he's probably going to do better in southern Ohio as well, in the suburbs around Cincinnati. There's a big House district at play in the suburbs around Cincinnati as well. Plus, we'll see this. When you come into places like Fayette County, this is Lexington, Hillary Clinton won it. But look at the margin. 10-point margin there, 9-point margin if you're round. So this will be absolutely critical to see. And again, it may not swing Kentucky, but is African-American turnout up? And in all the suburbs around here, a lot of suburbs around Lexington, a lot of suburbs around
Shadow Dragon, like, fuck my day up.
Overperforming Hillary Clinton, or if you want to flip it, is President Trump underperforming, especially in the suburban areas? Kentucky will give us an early test, even though we do not think it'll be a swing state tonight.
And the polls close in Kentucky in an hour and 15 minutes, 6 p.m. Eastern, so we'll get some results. Then coming up, the big reveal of our first exit polls. We're going to get insight into how the night will potentially play out. We'll be back in a moment.
In New York.
Mama Zao love.
Many law-abiding, high-functioning people.
It's actually a good lead.
It's an important time to save. With Priceline, you can get up to 60% off amazing hotels. And when you get a big deal, you feel like a big deal. Priceline.
It's probably a lightning move of some sort.
Do you have dry, cracked hands from constant washing,
Flame
cold weather,
charge.
and hard work? Try
Cool.
O'Keefe's Working Hands. It's America's #1 selling hand cream for guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked hands. Also available in O'Keefe's Lip Repair. Guaranteed relief for extremely dry, cracked lips.
This is Joe. He used to have bad breath. Now he uses a capful of TheraBreath Fresh Breath Oral Rinse to keep his breath smelling great all day long. TheraBreath. It's a better mouthwash at Walmart, Target, and other fine stores.
Making the right financial decisions has never been more important. Turn to Rocket Mortgage, and we can help guide you through those significant decisions now. When they matter.
As you.
Here's a great idea
Fuck.
that can work for you. A Yorgage is a fixed-rate mortgage that conforms to your needs.
What a fucking pain in
With
the
a
ass,
mortgage,
Azu.
You control the home loan term, anywhere from 8 to 30 years. That custom term can help you finish paying off your mortgage in a time frame that works best for you. And by taking years off your loan, you'll potentially save thousands of dollars in interest over the life of your mortgage, helping you take control and achieve your financial goals. A cash-out refinance from Rocket Mortgage could give you the boost that you're looking for. Just remember, at Rocket Mortgage, we're committed to giving you the best mortgage experience. To learn more about a mortgage and the many benefits of a cash-out refinance, call us today or go to rocketmortgage.com.
While you watch this historic night unfold, log on to CNN.com for more. The Road to 270, Election 101.
Yeah, it's game for me.
With My Election and more.
What did he have in the front?
America on CNN and CNN.com.
This election day, we're invested in you with the team.
I can't remember what he had up front.
For your healthcare, retirement, taxes, and bottom line. Plus, up-to-the-minute results and analysis. Tonight, find out what the results mean.
Let's see.
And Wallet, Fox Business, invested in you.
This is the moment America has been waiting for. With our future in the balance.
I was elected to fight for you.
The stakes couldn't be higher.
Nothing can stop it.
Tonight, the countdown is over. America is voting. And only Fox News delivers the analysis and insight that America trusts. From America's most experienced election team. Following real-time data on the Fox News app and every race as it happens from our best-in-class decision desk. Until we know the 2020 election on Fox News Channel. America is watching.
This election day, we're invested in you with the team you trust. See the impact for your healthcare, retirement, taxes, and bottom line. Plus, up-to-the-minute results and analysis. Tonight, find out what the results mean for you, your family, and Wallet. Fox Business, invested in you.
I'm MJ Lee in the final hours of the Biden campaign.
Zeldridge.
Closed caption brought to you by Mesobook.com.
We offer a free book. on
Cool, this is actually a
Mesothelioma.
great lead.
Call for the free book.
This
and
we
you'll
can
save
do.
So much more. Call 1-800-831-3700.
President Trump is inside the White House right now as he and all of us await the results of the election. We are just minutes away from sharing the first information from our exit polls of voters with potential hints about the direction of the presidential race. We're also inside voting locations in the make-or-break battleground states. There's certainly a lot to watch for, especially in these early hours. David Axelrod, as we await some exit poll results, we were just talking about Bracken County in Kentucky, Mecklenburg County, North Carolina as kind of early indicators of enthusiasm for President
let's
Trump
shield
or
it.
for
I don't know what it is.
Joe Biden. Where do you watch early on?
Well, I think you do choose counties that you think will give you some tea leaves. New Hanover County in North Carolina is a city that is not a county that's not voted for a Democrat for decades, but it's become closer and closer. Trump won it by 4. It's around Wilmington. There's a burgeoning film industry. It's changing in character. It'll be interesting to see if Donald Trump can carry that county. And there are counties in every state like this that are right on the edge that he won, but not by that much. And if Joe Biden turns these counties, I think that gives you a sense of which way these elections are going to go.
You know, I think there's also a larger sense here, which is
It's either Elite Blade or that
is Donald Trump
close combat. So either or I'm fine with.
that are shaping
Probably
the
got
next
2 of
century
them.
and this century, sort of the larger, more urban areas, areas with younger demographics, areas with more mixed and diverse populations, and we'll all be looking at that. But right now, we're all going to be looking at Florida, of course, because that report's early. Florida is always an issue. We know it's a tight race, and we know that if the president were to win Florida tonight, that his road to 270 gets easier, and that Joe Biden's gets harder. Joe Biden doesn't need Florida. Donald Trump needs Florida to win this election, and so
I think it's a fire
that's kind of
move,
my
and
first
I'm
choice.
just,
Then North
I just
Carolina.
fucked up.
Because he needs them all.
He needs them all.
He
That's
needs
right.
to run the table. If he loses Florida or North Carolina or Georgia or Arizona,
Confusion.
it just becomes very difficult. Florida being the biggest piece, but all of them are necessary if he's going to keep this thing in order so he can get over to Rick's place in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, unless he can pick up a Michigan or a Wisconsin. But you're right. I think, to me, Florida is the one to look at. It's the earliest time we're going to get some votes from. And the interesting one that's going to be different from 4 years ago is actually Miami-Dade. Miami-Dade may be a place where Donald Trump, I think he will do better than he did 4 years ago. And it'll be because of the Hispanic vote in Miami-Dade. I mean, we might pick up a congressional seat in Miami-Dade. I mean, there's
also the Cuban, Venezuelan.
The Cuban, Venezuelan area. And that's an area where socialists, I mean, a lot of the Republican memes on conservative media are always talking about immigrants from all of these former socialist countries who are passionate. That's one of the reasons I think you're seeing, oddly enough, that Trump is doing well among immigrants, because immigrants who've had this experience with socialism are very, very concerned about what they're seeing in the Democratic Party.
And I think that's why trying to tar Biden as something he's not has been such a big part of the strategy. He's not a socialist. But what's interesting is there are some troubling signs in Miami-Dade, but then in Broward County, you're seeing a massive outpour. And there's some constituencies that we don't talk about enough. The West Indians, the Jamaicans, they love Kamala Harris.
This is fucking crazy, man. What the fuck is going on?
Rights back, the Florida Rights Restoration Coalition got them their rights back. At first, they were kind of like, well, Biden was kind of a mass incarcerator. Then the Republicans came down so hard on him, saying, we don't want you to vote. So they pushed 700,000 people back toward the Democrats. Not very smart. And then lastly, the Puerto Ricans, because of they're the biggest climate refugees. They had to leave their island because of all the storms there. There's a big Democratic base there. So you got Puerto Ricans, West Indians, formerly incarcerated people, and then Broward County. So now you're going to have this thing. Miami-Dade versus Broward County is going to be a big deal.
I think an important point. There's no doubt that Miami-Dade is important, and it's important to Democrats, and he has to. Joe Biden has to perform at least close to what Hillary Clinton did. He doesn't have to do what she did, but the state's more diverse than it was 4 years ago, and Joe Biden is doing much better with white voters, and I think that's going to be a theme throughout this night.
That's the weird.
He is at. Polling, Donald Trump beat Hillary Clinton by 20 points.
Oh shoot, I got the wrong fucking Ferrothorn in.
Joe Biden has cut this to single digits. In Florida, he's cut the lead in half. So you look at a county like Pinellas County, where St. Petersburg is, and that is a county that Barack Obama won in 2012. Trump won in 2000.
I should theoretically win this.
White retirees. He's not doing as well, Trump, with seniors as he did 4 years ago.
It's a weird.
So that's going to be another bellwether.
It's like Biden's getting more white folks than Democrats usually get, and then Trump is getting more African American men and Latinos. But the math of that may actually wind up favoring Biden.
Yes,
just more white folks.
60% of the state is white.
He's losing seniors by 20 points.
That's
and that may be part of the increase.
Game over one.
That may be a lot of that. May be
so I put the wrong Ferrothorn in. That's
where
bullshit.
my dearly departed mother was a poll worker in Broward County. And you look at what's going to happen there,
How
and I
the hell
guarantee
did I do that?
you're going to see a large shift among seniors.
We are just minutes away from our first exit poll results. We'll be back in a moment.
Where's my regular Ferrothorn?
Just over a year ago, I was drowning in credit card debt.
SoFi helped me pay off
Express yourself.
of credit card debt.
They helped me consolidate all of
Oh, I got a horrible read that one. Let's try it again.
They make you feel like it's an honor for them to help you out.
I went from sleepless nights to getting my money right. So thank you.
Yeah, that's a good lead.
You're Martin Sheen.
I am. Who's Martin Sheen?
A guy who's going to help save your family hundreds of dollars on prescriptions with Single Care.
That we can do.
Silver Fox. On what?
Oh my. Beat the price again. Excuse me, sir.
That was a
Single
good
Care, this
switch.
gentleman, please.
Ever since he learned about Single Care, he's
Not sure what he switched into, but it was a good
Just
switch.
want to help you save some money.
You can't be back here, Martin.
Sorry. Take just 10 seconds to lower the cost of your prescriptions. Check the Single Care price today.
Let's get two of these off. Then we'll switch into our...
Keeping your oysters growing while keeping your business growing as you swamped.
Technically, we should chill.
Indeed you do. The moment you sponsor a
And then we'll
job
switch into
you get a short
our
list of quality candidates from our resume database, so you can start hiring right away.
buddy here.
Claim your $75 credit when you post your first job at Indeed.com/promo.
So
is too dangerous. Leaf Filter puts an end to that.
Oh, good.
So
All
how does it
right.
work? Leaf Filter's 3-piece system
I'm cool
filters
with
out
this.
leaves and debris, letting water flow through freely.
Do we need to replace our gutters?
Great question. Leaf Filter can be installed right on top of your existing gutters. We're sold. Call 833-LEAF-FILTER or go to getleaffilter.com for your free gutter inspection and estimate.
This is cellulose.
That's fine too.
Plant-based material that's not only extremely durable,
Whoever he puts in,
making it ideal for Warby
just get a special off here. Oh, good, good, good. This is actually really good.
Try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com. Oh yeah, about those prescription lenses.
Nice.
Warby Parker glasses come standard with custom-cut polycarbonate lenses that have been treated with
Some real damage on this fool. Okay. Now he's gonna have an earthquake. So we got the shield one.
Affects the whole body.
I guess technically we don't have to, because it'll do damage, but we don't really need him anyway. Yeah. So let's get that off. Try to eat up some shields. We gotta work. I don't think this thing has earthquake. I'm pretty sure it's a sludge bomb. We'll shield. Fuck! Now here comes the motherfucking earthquake. Sludge wave. That's actually not bad.
I'm Jim Acosta in the final hours of the Trump campaign. This is CNN.
Does this kill? I don't think so. Yeah, it did. Alright, well. We just needed one more shield off of him. That's pretty bad.
Look at these pictures of the White House right now. This is a truly historic contest to win the White House and lead this nation. This is CNN's coverage of election night.
Let's try
We want to welcome our viewers here in the United
Master
States
Premiere.
and around the world. I'm Wolf Blitzer. Right now, Americans are making their choice between former Vice President Joe Biden and President Donald Trump. We're about to get our first look at what those voters care about most. The first exit poll information will be revealed just minutes from now. And we're only about an hour away from getting the first votes of this night. Stand by for that, as well as our first chance to make projections in this presidential race. That could happen in the 7 p.m. Eastern hour, when voting ends in Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, South Carolina, Vermont, and Virginia. Those states have a total of 60 electoral votes. That's a little less than a fourth of the 270 electoral votes needed to win the presidency. The first key race we'll be watching is Georgia, to see if that traditionally red state turns blue. Lots going on. Let's go back to Jim.
Wolf, we're keeping tabs on the final hours of voting in key battleground states across the country, including Nevada, Michigan, Florida. We're also, of course, staying on top of what's going on behind the scenes of the campaigns. Let's go to Jeff Zeleny, covering Team Biden. Jeff, what are we learning about the former vice president's plans for this evening?
Well, Jake, we do know that Joe Biden is now heading home to his home in Wilmington after making a couple stops here after really a day-long stretch of campaigning. And there has been some question about what he plans to do this evening. He told reporters just a few moments ago that he will address the country tonight if the numbers are indicating something that he should. So if there is some type of a result, he will. But his campaign manager, Jen O'Malley Dillon, said earlier today that he definitively would address the country tonight, regardless of the outcome, regardless of where they are in the process. So you can see behind me here, they are setting up a stage here at the Chase Center in Wilmington. It's the exact place where Joe Biden accepted the Democratic nomination and walked out to that drive-in rally. So we could see him here this evening if he decides to address the crowd. But they're also keeping a close eye on what's happening in all of the states. They have a war room set up here in Wilmington, and they do believe that turnout was high today in several battleground states. But they also know, I'm told, that cuts both ways. Republicans, of course, were planning on voting in person. But Florida, of course, is one of the first battleground states we're going to see. There's pessimism I'm detecting, at least early pessimism, from key Biden advisors about the uphill lift there in the state of Florida. But votes are still being cast in Florida, so let's keep an eye on that. But, of course, we'll see if we hear from Joe Biden tonight or perhaps in the wee hours of the morning.
All right, Jeff Zeleny, thanks so much. Now to Caitlin Collins, who's covering the Trump campaign. Caitlin, President Trump is breaking norms again by spending election night at the White House.
Yeah, he is. We haven't seen an incumbent president spend the night at the White House on election night in some time. But of course, with COVID restrictions happening here in Washington D.C., that thwarted plans to have an event at the Trump Hotel nearby the White House, of course. And there are other questions being raised about the political activity, Jake, that's happening here at the
Express
White House.
yourself.
There is political activity that surrounds a one-term president who is trying to become a two-term president. But the White House and the Trump campaign are now kind of converging forces, and there is a war room set up in the executive office building, of course, just a short walk from the Oval Office here at the White House. And a war room is political aides, campaign staffers who are watching television, monitoring social media, and of course watching those returns as they are coming in and filling in their bosses who are then filling in President Trump. But the idea that it's happening here at the White House instead of at the campaign headquarters in Virginia is raising questions about whether or not it's blurring those lines between political activity and official government business. The Trump campaign is defending this by saying it is fully paid for by the campaign, not by taxpayers, even to the Wi-Fi and the computers. And they say no White House staff is involved in that, Jake. But it goes to show you how they've been blurring these lines for several years of the Trump administration. Things like the press secretary appearing on television as a
Boost
campaign
me,
advisor,
baby.
but of course, starting with this war room that we are seeing happening
I need
here
a
on the
boost.
grounds tonight.
All right, Caitlin Collins at the White House, thanks so much. Now we have the first exit poll results now. Let's go to David Chalian. With that, David, what do you have?
Well, we're learning what sort of the top issue driving voters' choices today, Jake. This is nationally, and again, these are early numbers. They're likely to change as we get more and more information throughout the day from voters. But what was most important, the most important issue for your vote? 34% of voters in this election say the economy, followed by racial inequality, 21% said that, followed by coronavirus at 18% of voters who said that, crime and safety and healthcare policy a little further down. Take a look when we asked, what's more important to you to do right now? Contain the coronavirus or rebuild the economy? Look at this, 52% say contain the coronavirus. That beats out the importance of the 42% that say rebuild the economy. And how about a measurement about how efforts are going in the U.S. to contain the coronavirus? Look at this, a split electorate on this today. 48% said U.S. efforts to contain the coronavirus are going well. 51%, a slim majority, say efforts to contain the virus are going badly. And finally, on this note, we asked, what do you think about wearing a mask in public? Is that more of a personal choice or a public health responsibility? Nearly 7 in 10 voters in this election tell us it is more of a public health responsibility. Only 30% of voters in this election say it is a personal choice. Jake?
All right, David Chalian, thanks so much for that fascinating results. Also, 48% of the country, Dana, saying that the handling of the pandemic is going well. That's a very high number considering that empirically it is not going well. I mean, there is no health official who says it's going well at all.
And that is a different number than what we've been seeing in the polls.
Going well compared to what, dude? Compared to what Obama did with H1N1? Probably, I mean, it's probably going pretty well. Compared to the rest of the world, pretty well. Where is the scale? I mean, everyone on your news channel is smarter than the world?
Because, look, as bullish as the president...
Smarter than the entire fucking country? Well, there must be wrong. There's 5 of you on a damn news channel, and the whole country's wrong.
In that sense, maybe it is surprising, and I'm guessing if I'm going to contact people in the Trump campaign, they're probably going to say the same thing.
Yeah, but I mean, some of these other numbers were not that great for the president in terms of, he's at 42% in terms of people who think that the economy is the number one issue. And that's what he's been trying to convince people that they should believe, that they should put the economy before managing or controlling the coronavirus. So that's 42%, that's the president and his base. Is that enough to win a presidential election, to be reelected? We don't know, but that is where the president's problems start. It is with this virus.
I'm going to shield. I don't want to get hit with a hurricane, especially if he's going to sit with Dragonite in the battle. That's just weird.
So that's the president's supporters and then some. So people
like, why the fuck would you stay in a battle with a Dragonite?
to be a little bit more responsible on some
But the question was,
Mad
the question
weird,
in the
dude.
exit poll, and again, this is not complete. There are still people voting.
You're
et
still
cetera.
using a
Which
shield.
is a higher priority, containing the virus or rebuilding the economy? 52% said containing the virus. 48% said rebuilding the economy. Again, if I'm with the Trump campaign or if I'm at the White House, I think that's a lot of people saying rebuild the economy is more important than containing the virus, especially when every credible health expert says you need to contain the virus before you do rebuild the economy.
Exactly, and that's what Joe Biden's campaign has been all about.
I don't get it.
You know, you could probably start a drinking game to how many times he has said, you can't do one without the other. They are completely intertwined. That is a very different message than you've heard from the president. So, you know, we'll see what this means.
I'm not afraid of your aqua tails, bro.
Is kind of mimicking.
No way you got off anything. Oh, yeah,
What
cool.
was really interesting in the priorities
That's cool, too.
was racial inequality and how high that was.
Right.
In with the economy and in with coronavirus. I mean,
Hmm.
that has not, I don't remember seeing that. I mean, obviously, it's because it's 2020 and we've seen the horrors this year and the way that people have protested because of it. But that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're trying to divine any sort of significance as to what these numbers mean when it's still incomplete preliminary data. But, I mean, if I am with the Trump campaign and I'm looking at these numbers, I'm thinking this is an electorate that's a lot more susceptible to what we've been saying than what Joe Biden's been saying in general than we thought they would be.
Perhaps.
Not more so than Biden, but supporters, but more so than we thought they would be.
These numbers to me reflect the hyper-partisanship of the American electorate, which has only increased in the last 4 years. A lot of these issues are really determined by what shirt, what team these voters are putting the shirt on for. And so we're going to see that reflected in the numbers. So the president being at 40, you know, the president's view of the economy being a priority, being a little bit higher than his approval rating is fine, but I don't know that that tells you anything. It just continues to tell us that we have a really tightly split electorate this year.
All right. Food for thought. Wolf?
A lot of food for thought indeed. John Peters here at the Magic Wall. Let's get some more on the political impact of the coronavirus pandemic.
Express yourself.
So powerful and so ugly here in the United States.
So the early exit polls, as the panel just discussed, you know, we've all watched this political divide play out. Should you wear a mask? Should you not wear a mask? Is it okay to have big rallies on the campaign trail? Should you social distance on the campaign trail? We'll watch the votes and we'll see how it impacts. But we just know without a doubt. We know without a doubt, no matter where you live.
What the fuck? That's bullshit, man. Something's wrong. I guess my shit's lagging.
This is a map showing confirmed cases for 100,000 residents. The deeper the red is the deeper the pain, really. And just look up here. Now, there's no expectation that Joe Biden's going to carry North Dakota or South Dakota. Look how deep the red is up in those states up there. That is the fall surge right now. The fall surge, the average case count above 80,000 new infections a day. The fall surge now way in excess of the summer surge. But let's just walk through some of the battleground states. And remember battleground Wisconsin, right? It's the state the president won 4 years ago. Look at all this deep red right here. And not only has the president been saying, we've rounded the corner, the vaccines will be here soon, saying things that just frankly, are not true about the state of the current fight against the coronavirus. To the point that Dr. Anthony Fauci, Dr. Deborah Birx, his own people have been critical of him in recent days. But the president trying to sell this in states that, Wisconsin especially, a hospitalization spike, the death record in the final week of the campaign. You just see this going up. And this is one of the questions of the campaign. The president has been open about this, criticizing the Democratic governor here, criticizing in another state he wants to win, Michigan, where you see not as deep red as Wisconsin, but still a lot of pain here. Early, Michigan was hit, especially early in the first wave, criticizing the Democratic governor there. Pull the map back, criticizing the Democratic governor in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The president has made this a rallying cry. And many say, why? Because all of those governors, whether it's Governor Wolf, Governor Whitmer, Governor Evers, they're popular if you look at the polls. However, what the president's people tell you is that this motivates his supporters, and that's what today is about. Will the Trump voters come out in massive numbers? Let's just look through some other battleground states. Again, one of the things we have seen in this campaign, Wolf, is that senior citizens, Donald Trump won voters 65 and over 4 years ago.
How the fuck did this guy not shield?
With that constituency,
Yo,
which is
I don't get it.
very reliable voters.
It's
But
incredible.
absolutely essential in battleground Florida, out in Arizona.
It's
Makes a difference
insane.
in Pennsylvania. That's one of the
I
oldest
gotta
states
take
as
some
well.
time
Just
away.
look